So now that we have our production environmental file with the first settings, continuing on the documentation, we will start first our containers. But before that, we need to first create some directories that are needed, namely the database directive, and apply it permissions with this utility script that we have available for you under the common directory under deployment. And this is due to the fact that the Docker containers where Mergin Maps are running for security reasons do not run as root user. They use under a specific user, and that's why you need to provide certain permissions to these folders. So here are the folders that we need to apply. I think here we are missing some folders here, so I will have them also created, and then we need to apply per folder the permissions. Unfortunately, the script only allows you to do this per folder. Then lastly, we'll do the normal Docker Compose up using the default file, and this is for the maps that we will talk later on. For now, we will just enable our Mergin Maps platform without map support. So let me grab this piece of code here. Oops. For some reason, my virtual machine. So we should aim for the enterprise folder, and from here, let me grab again the documentation. From here we should have this section here. Sorry, this is something. The data folder, the map data and diagnostic logs. So let's create all these in one pass. So they are here: data, diagnostic logs, map data, and Mergin DB Enterprise, which will hold the database data. And from here I will start to apply some settings to the different folders. So first to the most important one, which is the data folder. I think I missed the key. The same for the diagnostic logs and the same for the map data. For this one, I believe it's not needed because the Postgres image runs as a default root level. So now we are ready. So we will start then our containers. So after this, we just need to do Docker Compose up -d. By default, Docker will look for this file, which is the default file. So you don't need to flag it with a -f in this case. You only need to flag a different file if you are using a different file name. For example, this one is specific to the maps specific needed software, and the same applies for the SSO, so you need to flag -f. In this case, I'm targeting only the main compose file, so I don't need to flag it, and I will do then docker compose up. Of course, I first need to log in to our, let me check where is it. So first I need to log in, because I am logged out at the moment, because more than 1 day has passed in this case. So I need to log in again to our Ultra ECR repository, remember the first step, and we are now ready to do this. So now it starts to pull all the needed containers. So database container Redis is pulled, web is pulled, proxy is pulled, and it will start all the relevant services here. So if I do docker compose you can see that all the services are running. So we have our services running, but one important thing is the initialization of the database. So this is not done at first, and there are several ways to do this, and one of the way is using Flask init. So basically you can log in to the server container, or you can do it in one line as it is here. I usually first log into the container and then run from it this section here. And this command specializes into create the basically the database. If you want to provide and create already a super user on the fly, you just need to add to this command the email option, and then have the email of the administrator after it. I will show you how to do it. If you don't want to create it on the fly, you can create it afterwards by using Flask user create. Then you apply a username and password, and you flag it as admin, and then again you add it as an email. In here it will automatically generate the password for you. In this case you need to have your own password here enabled. So I will show you both ways in this in the next step. So what I usually do is that I do a docker compose exec server, and I then start a bash console inside the server, and then from here I do the Flask init. I will do the initialization without the first email without the super user creation, so just the initialization. And it will provide you some of the users that are enabled. In this case it already created the user as well, based on the provided user that we have here on the. So let me show you. The nano is not installed, neither cat. Let me check. Here on the volume should be this one here. Not on server but on deployment, sorry. And we should have our, it is not visible, show hidden files and should be here. So it creates the first administrator user using this provided contact email from here, so that you are sure where that admin comes from. So first step is to create the data model on the database, then creating the admin user. So it is admin 0 with his password. Some information about the edition, so we are targeting Enterprise Edition here, and something that you need to provide us, Lutra, when you first start your instance is to provide us this service ID. If you don't have it already, you should just email us this service ID so that we can correctly have it on our telemetry service and follow up your Mergin deployment. And from now the email is disabled, so we will talk and enable this after. Statistics are on, so this is also mandatory for Enterprise Editions to have statistic on, and by default it's on. You have to explicit put it to off, but you will be violating our Enterprise Edition agreement. And yeah, the last part is just to check if the salary daemon and worker are running properly and sending some initial statistics. From here we have everything started. So if we go here to our default local host 8080, we should see our entry page of Mergin Maps as it is. And if we log in with the default admin user, I just copy here the password, so it will be admin 0, and then I will pass here the password, and that's it. We have our platform already working. Of course we don't have workspaces, etc., so everything is flagged and zeroed in this case. So if you are not happy with this user, for example, you can, as the document show, you can create another user by simply having this. In this case I will need to change the email because you are not allowed to have this two emails set with this for the same user, of course. So you need to use this Flask user create. I can name it as username admin. As password I can put it 1234 for now is admin, and here I need to change the email to admin real something like that at mergin.com, for example, just to make it consistent with the current mergin.com domain that we have here for our use case. So now if we go here to our platform, if we log out, we can test out if this admin is correctly set or not. 1 2 3 4, and there it is. So the admin reel is created as well. So this is the, let's say, the profile view, but if you want to have a different view which is more related with the administrative level, you also have the admin panel here, and this will allow you also to check and to generate new accounts, new projects, etc. But you will have a deep dive on this admin panel later on this training. This is just to show you how you can also tweak switch in between the main profile panel and the admin panel.